You're awesome. All right, guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. It is April 5th, and so I'm so happy to see so many beautiful faces on here. I am really excited. If you don't have any of your other team members on this call, see if they'll come on the call. We have a really awesome topic, which I think is going to be super relevant. We're going to be talking mindset this evening. So I think this is going, if you want, I mean, honestly, this can benefit anyone. So I think, so if there's any other people on the team that you think should be here, just send them a quick reminder that we have the call getting started. So a couple quick announcements. So it's the first call in April. And so again, I just want to thank you guys for taking the time. And, as we know, a couple of things have happened over the past week or two, and a couple announcements. So we're in a brand new month, and last month was an amazing month. So many of you helped so many amazing people, and I'm super proud of everything that all of you guys are doing and sharing, and literally the light that you guys are being out there on social media. It's so needed and it's so important. Our company is doing really well right now, and I think it's really interesting. I was actually talking to my cousin about this. I said, it was funny when we transitioned from DVDs to the on-demand system. There was a big big backlash around that, and there are people who were not happy with that. And it's just really interesting, kind of looking, now where we are in today's time right now, and just the foresight. I'm like, wow, he had the foresight to really go with his gut that we needed to advance. We needed to advance our system. We needed to continue to grow with the times. And so right now, our company is up, I believe it's like 30 or like 30, almost 30%, 30 or 40% in terms of just Beachbody On Demand signups. And so that's really awesome. So there's a lot of potential out there, for people who really need and want what we have to offer. Also, this month we have our virtual Super Saturday, which will be on the 18th. And I believe that starts at 2. However, we as a team at 1 p.m., we're going to, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Chelsea, but I think at 1 p.m. we said that we're going to get together for a group workout. So we're going to stream a workout together starting at 1, and it'll be about a 40-minute workout, which will give us it's a 10 round sample, and it's going to give us about 15-20 minutes to change, get water, get whatever we may need, a snack or something, and then we can all tune into the virtual Super Saturday. So that'll be on the 18th, and so we're very excited about that. And this month we have the 10 rounds challenge packs on sale. We still have the bar, I believe, still on sale this month as well to the end of the month. And again, just so many different options for people, out there. So make sure that you're sharing, make sure that you are posting. And yeah, so this evening's call, and if you guys have any other announcement that you want to share, make sure you can put them here. And of course, any questions that you guys may have about anything, even not related to this, these calls are also where you can openly ask questions. Nothing is a stupid question. And so feel free, if you have a question that comes up related to what I'm talking about or not related, feel free to write in the chat and we'll address it at the end. So, all right, so let me go ahead and start let's see if I can do this. I want to see if this works. Well, not that. And I want to see if this allows me to. Can you guys see my presentation? Okay, perfect. I'm just using, all right. So I'm really, really excited about this topic. Those of you who know me well know that I am really passionate about mindset work. I'm really passionate about having a growth mindset and really staying positive. And so that is why the topic for today is going to be called Staying Positive During Hard Times. And like I said, I think this is really relevant to what's going on. And so for those who don't know me, my name is Dr. Stephanie Burgos. Well, there's people who don't know me on here. They may not know me. Luke's laughing, but I think there's new coaches on here who don't know me. All right. So who am I? So I'm a healer. I'm an energy healer. I'm a medicine woman in training is like what I like to call myself. I'm an emergency medicine doctor wellness coach, author, and speaker, and I have been a Beachbody coach since July of 2013. My mission, and really the mission that our team has been built upon, but this has evolved as I have evolved. And I definitely encourage every single one of you, as you think about your business, as you think about what you're building in your life, really think about what is your personal mission. What is the mission of the team that you're building, of the community that you're building? It can be similar to mine. It can be very unique to you. But that has been key, I think, for me in terms of really sticking to this business for over 7 years. It's the fact that I have been able to utilize Beachbody as a tool that helps me in my mission. And so my mission is to help others understand their true worth through focusing on self-care and a growth mindset so that they can live worthy, well, and free. Again, that has evolved over the times, and I've gotten much better at really being able to say exactly what it is. But again, I just want to encourage you guys, as you guys are growing, write this down, put it somewhere where you can see it at all times. Let's see. All right. So we are in a very unique time and season of our lives. And I think, you know, as I've been doing a lot of reflection on this, as I hope many of you have, and I think this is going to be absolutely a period in time that we're all going to look back on, and we're all going to look back and say, how did I handle that situation? How did we get through that situation? What was my reaction, you know, during that time? What happened at that time? And so just really, you know, this is something that is affecting everyone globally. And that's why I wanted to really, you know, bring this to our team and really kind of, you know, talk about it. And if you guys have any concerns, questions, fears, again, this is a safe space. This is a place where you can share it. You know, I know some of us have been doing breakout sessions in terms of just smaller groups where we've been coming together to share how we're doing, even if it's weekly or every other week. But if you are looking for support, if you're feeling a certain way, I want to encourage you to reach out to the coaching family, reach out to us. We're here as a support system for you. Do not, I don't like to say do not suffer alone, but do not kind of retreat and try to be alone during this time. Whatever is coming up for you, whatever feelings may come up, whatever fears, anxieties, concerns, I want you to feel free to express them. And we are a safe space. We're a safe community for you to express them. And we're being asked, you know, at this time, we're being asked to pause, to truly pause. I mean, how many of you can feel that we're being asked to pause in our life? You know, to being asked to pause, to self-reflect, and to truly focus on the things that we can control in our life. I think for a long time as a humanity, we have been go, 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 go. We have been looking at things external to ourselves. We have been looking for validation outside of ourselves. And right now, we're being asked to stop. We're being asked to really think about what's really important to us. We're being asked to sit in silence, and I'll talk more about that, to sit in prayer and meditation, whatever that practice may be like for you. But this is the time for that. And also this is going to trigger a lot of individuals who thrive on control. How many of you thrive on control? I mean, a lot of people do. How many of you, you know, do not like change? You know, you really struggle when things are not in the routine that you're normally in. And so this is really triggering many people in these different ways. And it's really, you know, asking, you know, how adaptable are you? How flexible are you? How open are you to receiving whatever it is you're supposed to be receiving at this time? How open are you to the flow of what all of this has to teach us, right? And that this is what this is all asking us. And so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take you through some tips. This is what this is going to be. It's just going to be kind of my experience mixed with tips on how to stay positive during these hard times. And I'm going to be touching upon things related to mindset. I'm going to be touching upon things related to the body. I'm going to be touching upon things related to spirit as well. You know, mind, body, spirit, the triad of it. And yeah, so I hope that you guys, you know, find this helpful. I'd love feedback on this. If you like topics like this, if you like mindset topics, spiritual topics, I'd love to learn more about what you guys want as well, because yes, we are a team and we have a business, but again, as those of us who have been doing personal development, we all know that the more that we grow in ourselves and the more that we grow in our mindset, then that actually leads us into being able to have more more fortune and more success within our business. Because at the end of the day, the only limiting factor in our lives, in our business, is our mindset. It's the only limiting factor, and is up here. And so if you guys want more mindset topics, more kind of like we had the talk with Catherine, manifestation, definitely let me know, because we can definitely bring that to you guys. All right, so first tip, which is going to be pretty obvious, which is this is a great time right now. Many of us are home. This is a great time to focus on your wellness habits. And what I mean by that is, especially those of you who are more home than usual, this is a time to really set up those habits that you have been trying to set up. You know, really make time, you know, to make sure you're getting, there's, you know, for those of us home, there's no excuse as to why we shouldn't be moving our body every single day, why we shouldn't be more mindful of our nutrition during this time. You know, utilizing our workouts and movement to really help us with stress, to really help us move the energy within our body. You know, one thing, and this is, and yeah, one thing that I want to share with you guys, and some of you may have heard me talk about this, but when it comes to energy, when it comes to our feelings, you know, energy is just emotion, is energy, I should say, yeah, emotions are energy in motion. And what I mean by that is every single time that you guys have a desire to, you know, a frustration or an anger or a fear, or you want to cry, or you want to scream, or you want to yell, or you want to curse someone out, every single time that you have that, and then you don't follow through on that, you're actually swallowing. Imagine putting your emotions into a little Ziploc baggie, and you're swallowing that into your body, and that emotion gets stuck in your body, and that emotion will build upon will build upon other emotions, and that's what causes disease in our body. You know, that's one of the main things that I believe and other people believe causes really true disease in our body. It has a lot to do with the stuck emotional baggage that we have from our past. And I love movement and exercise because it's one of the ways that we can really move that energy through our body. So I really want to encourage every single one of you right now, you know, especially with this extra time that some of you may have, to really make it a priority that, you know what, I'm going to use this time to maybe get in the best shape that I've ever been in the next month, right? Those of us who are on 30, you know, who really can't go anywhere for 30 to 40 days, use this time as, you know, and say, I'm going to get in the best shape of my life. I'm going to freaking stick to this. And I'm going to use this as a time when I'm home and I know that I can control that I'm doing my workouts, what I'm eating, you know, making sure that I'm getting good quality sleep, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But again, focusing on your wellness habits is key right now. And it's going to help you stay positive. Why? Because those endorphins, right? You guys all know about the way that when we're sweating, when we're moving our body, we are releasing those positive endorphins. And so those positive endorphins will give you a happier, you know, you'll feel happier, your mood will be lifted. So make sure that this is a priority for you. Number 2 is resting your body. This is a really, I think right now it's challenging for a lot of people, because I think a lot of people are having they're having challenges with sleep. You know, there's a lot of fears, there's a lot of concerns, there's a lot of worries. And I'm hearing from friends and family of people who are struggling, you know, with getting a good night's rest, literally because their mind is just is concerned, it's anxious, it's worried. And so again, this is a great time to really focus on sleep. You know, sleep is a time of restoration, especially those of you who are typically someone who works long hours, right? You're someone who usually has a pretty packed schedule. Use this opportunity as that break to really rest your body, to allow your body to, and in that process of resting, not only are you helping your immune system, right? You guys all know that rest is important for our immune system. And right now, our immune system is key, you know, in terms of keeping us healthy with everything that's going on, you know, with the virus. And so again, making sure that you're making time, taking naps if you're able to take naps, and just allowing your body to rest and restore. In your body, you know, I truly believe that our body holds a blueprint of what it means to be fully well. I truly believe that. Our body knows how to heal itself, 100%. We just need to make sure that we're giving the right tools, that we're giving the right, you know, fuel in what we're eating, that we're giving it the rest that it needs so that it can heal itself on its own without any outside influences or help. Number 3, learn something new. So I've spoken to a few of you about this, that this is a beautiful opportunity to learn something new. This could be learning something new within your business, right? You can use this opportunity to learn a new skill set, to better your branding in your business. You know, maybe it's time, maybe now you have time to play around with certain apps and learn how to edit your photos, or learn how to look at filters for your social media, or maybe learning how to use Canva. You know, these are great opportunities. Now you have more time to learn something new. It was recently, I was actually supposed to be traveling during this time. I was only traveling for 5 weeks. And a friend of mine told me, she said, you know what, Stephanie, what were you trying to gain in that travel, right? Like, what were you trying to gain? And actually, I was going to be traveling for personal development and to really work on, I was going to 2 personal development events, and I was really going to a place where I can also do yoga and and just really take care of my body. And she's like, well, can you do that at home? Can you do personal development at home? And I'm like, yes, I can. And she's like, so do that, you know, to take whatever your focus was supposed to be and just do it locally. So maybe, you know, how many of you have books on your shelf that you haven't read, right? That you need to read, you know, or maybe there's there's a book on Audible that you want to read, or maybe there's a podcast series that you want to take more time to listen to. So that you now have some of you have a lot of time on your hands. I'm not saying all of you have a ton of time, but some of you have more time than usual. So using this as an opportunity to work on your mindset, to build your skill set when it comes to your business, to learn something new. Like, I think I was talking to one of the girls on here and I was like, is there anything that you want to learn? Is there anything that you want to learn more about, that you want to research? Maybe you want to research a little bit more about nutrition. Maybe you want to research more about spirituality. Maybe whatever it is that you may want to research, maybe more about exercise, maybe more about a certain hobby that you want to develop. You know, this is the time now to take advantage of this free time that we have. And so I want to really encourage you guys, you know, asking yourself, what are you doing in this free time? Not looking at the news, and we'll talk about that later, you know, not, you know, doing certain, yes, it's okay to do certain mindless things, but just really using this time to be productive of how you can improve yourself and your business. So learning something new. This can also be, guys, you know, practicing how to take better photos, right? For some of us, that's a great skill set that we need to work on. You know, it could be taking better photos. It could be, you know, writing, you know, learning how to, not learning, but just kind of, you know, writing more thoughtful posts. You have a little bit more time now. So now you can, you know, taking that opportunity to do a little more in your business. Focus on the positives and reframe negativity. So this is key, guys. You know, what I want you guys to understand is that, you know, when you look at people who are mostly positive, you guys know people who are really positive. It's not that they don't see the negativity that's out there. It's not that they don't understand, you know, things are not looking too good right now, or, you know, that people are suffering. It's not, trust me, it's not that. We are, those of us that focus on positivity and focus on optimism and hope, it's not that we are oblivious and we're naive to what's really going on. The key, the difference is that we really have gotten good at that, taking the focus off the negative and shifting to something that's more positive. Shifting, you know, to, like, if I'm feeling down, like, I'll give you an example. And this is a real example. I'm someone that I never really pay attention to the news. I never really get involved in politics. I never really get involved in a lot of different things. However, when all this started happening, I got caught up in it. Obviously, I'm in healthcare. I'm on the front lines. And so I got really caught up in some of the negativity, not necessarily the negativity, but just the low vibrational energy, you know, the anxiousness, the worry, you know, I got really caught up in it to the point where I was having nightmares. And I never have a nightmare. You know, I don't have nightmares. And I knew just from the meaning of the nightmare, it made no sense. And I was like, whoa, this means I have literally been connecting too much to the negative mindset that's out there. And actually, I think I was talking with some of the girls on this team. The idea of a collective consciousness out there, the idea that there are people out there that are more focused on positivity, more focused on hope, more focused on optimism, and there are people out there that are more focused. There's a group out there that's more focused on anxiousness, worry, concern, fear, all of the kind of lower vibrational energies and thoughts. And so what happens to us is that we're a frequency, we're like a radio, and we can tune in to one of those two bubbles. And so for me, when I was focusing on the anxiousness and the worry, I was tuning in to that bubble of lower vibrational thoughts and energy. And as a result, it was affecting me. And I found myself being almost obsessed with it. And I said, no, this has to stop. I need to shift back, and I need to do these. The things that I'm talking about here in this call are the things that I did myself personally to really, shift myself so that I can go back into more of to thinking more positively, and as a result, protecting my mindset. Because right now, guys, you have to protect your mindset. When you're more in a worry or fear state, you're actually lowering your immune system. Number one, you're lowering your immune system. And number two, you're bringing the possibility of that outcome, you're bringing that possibility more into your reality. So I really want to encourage you guys, shifting. It doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It doesn't mean that you don't acknowledge. It doesn't mean that you don't stay informed. It just means that you say, okay, I understand this is where we are today. Let me focus on what I can control. Let me go work out. Let me go dance. Let me go connect with someone that I love. Let me go do something more positive. And also when it comes to reframing the negativity, asking yourself, what am I learning about myself at this time? What are we all learning about ourselves at this time? What's the positive that's coming out of this, right? There's more people at home with their families. I think I was reading animals are being adopted more right now, and people are wanting the animal, they're wanting dogs at home and animals at home, and it's there's a lot of positive happening right now. It's just that obviously, which I'll talk about later, the media just really tends to really show us more of the negative. So just really focusing on the positives and reframing the negative. Gratitude, when you can focus, actually, let me see. Yep. Gratitude. So this is, obviously I have been studying, people who are super famous, not super famous, but very successful in their lives, the people that I admire. And everyone that I admire has a gratitude practice. And you guys may do this already, so this is just a reminder for many of you. But if you guys already, and because again, we know all of this. Everything that I'm telling you guys, I know you guys know. And there's a difference between knowing and being the things that you know that you need to be, right? All of you know, certain ways that you need to think and you need to act and what you need to do and what we should be doing on a daily basis. Just because you know doesn't mean that you're doing it. Because if you were doing it, then you would be in a very different state of mind, most of you. And so gratitude is one of those things that's super important. Really taking the time to think about and be grateful for the small things in life right now. To be, I was actually talking to some people about this as well. Because again, anywhere where I'm going, I'm talking about all these positive things. At work, I'm talking about it with the nurses, and they're just sitting. I'll sit there and they're just listening to me for an hour, in the downtime. They're just listening to me as I'm gratitude, guys. We need to think about, I think this is a beautiful time where we're being asked to look at our needs and our wants, right? We're being asked to look at what are our basic needs, and then what are our wants and our desires. And at the end of the day, our basic needs are very short. You need shelter, you need food, you need air, you need clean air, you need clean water. And that's really it. It's very short what our basic needs are. And everything else is literally icing on the cake. Everything else is extra. And I'm sharing this because sometimes, we forget to be grateful for the small things. And I share this too, because what I want you guys to think about, as humans, we want to feel safe. It's a human need to feel safe, right? We want to feel like it's literally our survival. We want to feel safe. And so I just shared with you, the 4 basic needs that you need in order to truly feel safe. And if you can have that for the next several months, take refuge in that. Find, get calm in that, and knowing that, at the end of the day, my basic needs are covered no matter what. My basic need, and there are some people who can't say that. And that's a much harder, that's a different thing. But for most of us, many of us can say, what, my basic needs are going to be covered over the next couple months. And I share this because it's better to be thinking from a place of calm and, than to be thinking and trying to be creative and inspired from a place of worry and concern. And so that's why I'm saying, you know, focusing on the things, you know, really looking at gratitude, knowing that you have your basic needs covered, knowing that you're going to be okay, even if, you know, even if financially certain things may, you know, you may not be making as much financially, or there's a hit into your family, but knowing that certain things will be covered, you know, taking a little bit of refuge in that for those of you who can. And then again, just every single day, you know, starting the day with gratitude. I'm so grateful, you know, for this new day. I'm so grateful for this clean water, right? Not everyone has clean water. You know, I'm so grateful for the food. You know, I'm so grateful that I'm, you know, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and many of us are in a beautiful, you know, we're in our homes with, you know, heat or air conditioning wherever you are, you know, with food on our table, which is not how many people are, you know, in other places of the world. So we have a lot of things to be grateful for. You know, grateful for the health of our family, grateful for the health of ourselves. I mean, I'm sure, you know, we all can go on and on about the things that we are grateful for. So just encouraging you guys every single day, morning, even in the afternoon if you need to, and in the evening before you go to bed, really thinking about the things that you are grateful for. Next thing, this is key, guys. And again, I've talked about this. I have a free meditation for those of you who need one. I have a free guided meditation. And meditation has been such a game changer for me. You know, everyone has been, not everyone, but people ask me, they're like, how are you staying so positive? Even at work, they're like, how are you staying so positive? And I will tell you that I have doubled down on my meditation to where I am, you know, doing breath work or some sort of quiet time prayer meditation for 1 to 2 hours a day. And it is because I have the time. I have the time right now when I'm home to focus on this quiet, silent time. And meditation is beautiful because right now we are truly being asked to sit and pause and look within ourselves, because truly within ourselves, guys, we have everything that we need. We have all the love, we have all, which, you know, we have all the love that we need within ourselves. We have all the answers that we need within ourselves. It's just that we have been programmed and conditioned through the hustle and bustle of our lives that we do not hear ourselves anymore. You know, I tell people all the time that our body is our greatest compass. And some of you guys are not even in tuned to the small whispers of your body, to the small, you know, to the instincts that some of you may have. How many of you are really instinctual, meaning you have a really good gut feeling? You know, you have a good, you know, you follow your gut. You know when something is wrong. You know when something's not right for you. That's beautiful. And for those of you who do not, I would encourage you through the sitting with yourself, that will develop. Because honestly, when it comes to our instincts, our feelings, you know, really our feelings, and this is, I'm kind of going a little off track here, but I feel really called to tell you guys this. So the purpose of our feelings, you know, feeling happy, feeling, you know, anger, feeling like, oh, I don't like that. The purpose of our feelings is literally meant to help guide us to make a different choice. And so, like, let's say I was reading something and it was like, let's say you're making a painting, right? Let's say you're making a painting and you pick the color red, you start painting with red, and you're like, oh, I don't like this. This makes me think of blood, or like, I don't know, this just doesn't sit well with me. So then what do? You take a different color, right? Most of us will say, well, let me choose blue or let me choose green. And then you start painting, you're like, oh, this feels better for me. It's the same thing with our feelings in our everyday life, in our regular choices. You know, it's like when we're going through life and all of a sudden something doesn't feel right, or maybe we're like, I'm not happy in this situation, or I'm not doing, you know, this doesn't feel right to me. That's literally your body telling you and sharing, hey, guess what? This is not a good, you know, this path is not good for you. You need to choose something different. And trust me, when you choose something different, when you are pursuing something, or you're going after it, or you're deciding on something. And I actually did this when I was choosing a specialty. When I was choosing a specialty, I was going to be an OBGYN, and I had a lot of fear about my future, and I had a lot of anxiety. And again, I'm not someone that has a lot of fear and anxiety. And I remember saying, wow, this isn't like me. I don't know what's going on. And then I realized, and then I was like, you know what? I don't think this is going to be for me. And literally the moment I made that decision and I called the program director and I said, I'm withdrawing all my OBGYN applications, I literally felt a sense of relief come over my body. And that literally was a confirmation that I had followed my instincts and that my body was trying to tell me, do not go down that path. And so the same thing for you with whatever you're going through in your life. I don't know if this is helpful or not, but whatever you're going through in your life, listen to your body. And sometimes the problem though is that sometimes the decision, the change is hard, right? Sometimes it's like we don't want to go against what we think we want, but literally our body will let us know. So I'm sharing all this because when you sit in meditation, you will develop more of a relationship with your body. You will develop more of a relationship with, you know, your mind, with your own personal instinct. And it's really, really important. Another reason why I love meditation is that it really brings you into the now. And what I mean by the now is, you know, so often many of us are thinking about the past, and the past no longer exists. It's done. I'm sorry, but it's done. And many of us are thinking about the future. And guess what? The future can, you know, we don't know. We can't predict the future, you know, and we are sending all this energy to the future, to our thoughts. We're sending all our focus to the future, and we don't even know what's going to happen. And so the only thing that's real is right now, this moment, me and you, all of us. This right now is our moment. And so when we meditate, we're bringing back a lot of our focus into this present moment, which then allows us to, we then have this free energy to then really think about what is it that we want to create. And now we have freed up this energy that would have been either thinking about the past or thinking about the future. And we now have it now. Think of it like a big ball of energy that you have right now. And you're then able to say, what do I want to create? And what do I want to visualize? What goal do I want to have? And you can use that energy to then create more, the potential for that reality to come into your life. And so that's another reason why I love meditation. Another reason why I love meditation is that it really reduces your stress levels. It also helps you in your response time. And what I mean by that is those of you who are quick with the tongue, which some of us are, some of us have been, right? Those of us who tend to react, you know, before thinking, you know, I used to be like that 100%. I was more reactive than, you know, I would talk before I thought before I thought what I was going to speak. And then I would regret what I said. And so I used to be that way. And meditation really helps you to kind of, you'll see as you start meditating, you're going to slow down a little bit, and your reaction time will slow down. And it's really cool. So definitely meditation is key. Reach out to others and connect. So this is important, guys. You know, this is a wonderful time. You know, all of you are used to using FaceTime and Zoom, you know, by being a part of this community. Now is a great time to use this to connect with old friends, right? Connect with family members, you know, show family members FaceTime and Zoom, you know, things that they may not have seen before. Maybe I have a group of friends this week, actually, from my residency on Wednesday for Passover. We're going to do a virtual Seder on Wednesday night with some of my co-residents. You know, I haven't seen them, you know, in a while, some of them. And actually yesterday, because of Zoom, I connected with some medical students some physicians that I knew back in medical school, and we connected via Zoom. So just really using this opportunity to reach out, see how people are doing, you know, and most of you have been doing some format of personal development. So many of you are going to be able to offer words of encouragement, you know, really helping other family members to stay more positive, other friends to stay more positive during this time. This is the ripple effect of this, guys. You know, what I'm sharing with you here, maybe take a note and go share it with a friend of yours who's maybe going through a hard time or feeling really anxious, and really just talking to them and, you know, and just sharing with them what I'm sharing with you, and that ripple effect. And just, you know, allowing yourself to be an ear to other people. You know, there's a lot of people who are struggling right now and who are really concerned and very worried and very scared and very, you know, they just have a lot of fear. And so you really can be that light, you know, for your family members, for your friends. And so I really want to encourage you, you know, maybe you make it a goal. Hey, I'm going to reach out to one person who I haven't spoken to in a while every day, you know, at least send them a text message, or just, you know, ask them, you know, create a date where we can see each other on FaceTime, and just connect and just see how they're doing. So I really want to encourage you, because this is the time now, you know, and I think many of us know this, you know, with all the technology, we have been losing on the connection aspect. And so this is really a great opportunity to connect more. And so I want to encourage that. Limit watching the bad news. So this is good too. I hope none of you guys are, but I just think it's really important to say this. I hope, you know, it's so important that you're not watching CNN and the news all day, every day, because it's rather anxiety provoking. You know, if you're looking at the death toll and you're looking at all the things and you're hearing about all the stories of the people. So I would just encourage you guys, yes, it's really important for you to stay informed, make sure you're getting it from a reputable source, and just getting the information that you need to get, and then coming right off, right? There's no need for you to be watching the bad news. I do believe, media tends to always, not make things, but they just focus more on the negative news. It's not like you're hearing about all the positive things going on right now, which there are, trust me. Amongst all this, there's still a lot of love and light and hope and things, and people doing beautiful things out there. And so I just wanted to throw this in there, because right now, there are a lot of people watching the news. And so, like I said, doing more personal development, watching, movies that make you happy, that make you laugh, on Netflix, good series, and just being mindful about that. Join forces with others. And so this has to do, guys, with connecting with one another, and maybe, using this opportunity to work more with one another, or maybe doing lives on each other's pages and interviewing one another. That's a really great option too, right? Like just highlighting, talking about, this is someone from my team, and highlighting. You can even talk about like how to stay positive during hard times, like literally what I'm talking about. You can go out and you can share these exact tips with your audience, and and you guys can join forces together and give a recollection of what you are individually doing, right? Some of you may be doing some of this already, some of you may not. And that's what I've been doing with with a couple of my friends. They're like, Stephanie, let's get on an Instagram live or something, and let's just share how we're handling this. And again, there are people out there that can relate to you and can relate to your story and your struggles. And the more that you share authentically, hey, like I shared with you, I was really, in the beginning, I got caught up in it and I started having nightmares, and like people are like, yeah, I know what you mean. I was having these weird dreams too. And so it really helps people to feel like they can connect with you. So making sure that you're reaching out with one another, joining forces with one another also means like the virtual happy hours that we're doing, virtual power hours that we're doing, virtual workouts that we're doing, just using that time to really connect with one another, and to help keep each other accountable is another great way to stay positive and productive during this time. Also, being mindful of people who are negative. Try to limit, the amount of negativity around you. For some of us, we've done a good job of doing that, but I think for some of us it's been challenging. But just be mindful. Doesn't mean you have to cut off ties with people or whatnot, but just, if someone's really focused on COVID and is calling, texting you every day, like, oh my God, this many people died and this many people died. Like, I know people like that. So don't, there are people who are doing that. There are people who are literally writing on a board how many people are dying every day and following it. I'm like, this is not healthy, guys. And so, but just be mindful, and just really encourage your family and your friends to do the same, to encourage them to just, really disconnect. Get close to nature. For some of us where the weather is pretty, some of us, we can still take walks outside. Some of us have a back porch. Some of us, have a front porch, just really going outside and allowing the sun to, to hit your face, and like just to go for a walk and to be amongst the, the trees and the grass is really important during this time right now. So I really want to encourage you guys that if you're able to, depending on weather, to go outside, take this time to go for walks, and, and not stay cooped up in the house all day, if you can help it. Obviously, again, many of us don't have, if you're in an apartment, it's hard, but you can always go outside, get some fresh air, come back inside. But definitely getting close to nature is another thing that will, really help you. Role play being more objective. So this is interesting, guys, and something I wanted to talk to you guys about. So this has to do with the idea of really trying to take a step back from what's going on in your life, and trying to say, like, if you find yourself, you're having an anxiety provoking moment, or you're having a lot of fear, or you find your mind, really going down a more negative spiral, it's really asking yourself to take a step back and be more objective. Meaning, if you had a friend that was thinking what you're thinking, what advice would you tell them, right? You would tell them, hey, calm down, it's going to be okay, think more positively. What advice would you tell them? And I do that a lot to myself sometimes, especially in the past when I was just, when I was still very early on in my personal development. It was like, okay, what would I tell someone who was thinking the way that I'm thinking? and what's the advice that I would give them. And that's being more objective. That's taking a step back and trying to remove yourself from the situation and looking at it from a bird's eye view, right? So many of us were in it, but it takes a skill set and just being intentional. All it takes is being intentional to take a step back and say, okay, how would I react to this? Or what advice would I give to someone else if they were telling me this? If they were telling me this thought process that I'm going through, I would probably say this, and this. I should probably take my own advice. And you guys know, you guys know what you guys need to do, like I said. And so again, this is just being more intentional. It's slowing down, our reactions and just, really taking a more objective role. Practice acceptance. This is key too, guys, because there's a lot of things that we can't control in our lives. And there's a lot of things that, and so for me, I practice non-judgment. It's a big practice for me. It's going to be a lifelong practice for me. I'm really big. I tell this to everyone. One of the key things that I do is I say I practice non-judgment. I'm always mindful. I'm not here to judge anyone, and I think people can always feel that from me. I feel like people always tell me their like life stories and they're just like, I feel really safe with you. And I'm like, I know. I was like, go ahead, tell me. I had nurses like crying with me at work. They're like, I feel like I could tell you about my father right now. Like, I don't know why. And I'm like, go ahead, tell me. I'm used to it. Go ahead. And I enjoy it. I do. I enjoy it. It's what, I think people can feel the safe space. And I think it comes because I have that intention of no judgment. There's nothing you can tell me or Luke for that matter, really. There's nothing you can tell us that would surprise us or that we would judge you for. And nothing, like literally nothing. And I think it's just, practicing that idea of non-judgment and practicing acceptance of the things that you cannot control. Acceptance of how other people are, right? Not trying to control other people, not trying to change other people, loving and accepting people for who they are, what they are, accepting certain situations, and accepting the things that you cannot change, right? And when you can, come to that place of acceptance, it's really, you'll find that it brings a lot of peace in your life. Because a lot of times when we're not willing to accept things, there's a lot of inner resistance, and then we're judging and we are fighting and we are trying to change something that really we cannot change. And it's not giving up. It's not, putting down the good fight. It's literally, again, it's about protecting your peace of mind. It's about I always tell people, no one can steal your peace unless you let them. And the peace that, what your own inner peace is truly your own, and it's something that you need to protect and build up every single day without fail. It's something you have to protect, all of us. So practicing more acceptance of the things that you cannot control in your life is going to be key. Do things that bring you joy. So this is a beautiful time now. A lot of us have time. So like going back to like arts and crafts, right? Like going back to puzzles. I've seen people who are doing puzzles, who are painting, who are drawing. Maybe you are, maybe watching comedy movies, watching feel-good movies that make you laugh. Going, if you have family members with you, doing things that are like playing games. I don't think I've played a board game in a long time, but like playing games and I haven't done a puzzle in a long time either. So, or coloring, right? Like all of us used to love to color. Think about the things you used to love to do as a child. And, because as a child, we were the closest thing to God. For those of us who believe in God, we were the closest, like, pure thing ever. And it was because we were so connected and we did not have all of life's garbage and programming and conditioning. And we were just such joy. And so what were the things that you used to do? I used to love, coloring and dancing and, thinking about the things that you used to enjoy. And do that now. Take time every day. I think I have a coloring book that I bought, and I bought color pencils, and the coloring's really good, and arts and crafts, especially those of you who have kids, and puzzles. I remember I was looking online, they were doing like puzzle swaps. I guess it's hard to find puzzles right now, but they were doing puzzle swaps with people, those big 2,000 piece puzzles. And so again, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, because it's like, but yes, finding the things that bring you joy is really important. Dances, this team loves to dance. A lot of us love to dance. And so doing the things that bring you joy is really key, and making time for that every single day. And then lastly, taking time to reevaluate your life and purpose. I put this at the end because it's just is, you know, I feel like, again, we're being asked to take a pause. We're being asked, you know, what really matters to us. I think many of us, you know, we're seeing, you know, so much, especially those of us, you know, those of us that have been striving for a long time in our lives for external validation, you know, for materialism that leads, that makes us feel a certain way, thinking it's going to help make us feel happier, it's going to make us feel like we're more important, or whatever it is that we're, you know, that we were chasing before all of this happened. And really just taking time and just, you know, saying, you know, what do I want to change? You know, now that I have a little bit more time, what are my priorities? What do I want to work towards? And really thinking about, you know, what is my purpose? And I find that follow your excitement, follow your excitement when it comes to figuring out what your purpose is. That's the best advice I can give you, is that whenever I read somewhere that you are in your purpose as long as you are excited. As long as you are excited doing it. And some of you that may resonate with some of you, you know, if you're excited and you're happy and it brings you joy, that is your purpose in this moment, right? Because something that brings you joy and excitement now may change 5 years from now. It may be different than what it was 5 years ago. And that's okay. You know, we tend to think purpose is like this one thing that we're meant to do. No, purpose is ever changing, just like we're ever changing. And it has to do with what's bringing us joy in this very moment. Those of us who have, you know, new children, you know, sometimes that's just bringing us joy. You know, being with the new child and, you know, and just being with our children brings us joy in that very moment, you know? And so it's going to be changing, and just, you know, taking note of that, but just always reevaluating. All of us should always be reevaluating, you know, setting monthly goals, setting quarterly goals, creating a vision for the quarter, creating a vision for the month of what you want to focus on, what you want to let go of, what you want to expand upon for this month. You know, it's the beginning of the month in a way. So just ask, you know, you can practice it in this time right now, but just always constantly evaluating. But right now, because of what's going on, we just have a really, really important and really awesome time to evaluate. So I want to give you guys some journal prompts, you know, in case some of you who like to journal. You know, and this is something that my healers, you know, I work with a lot of healers, and this is some of the questions that I have been asking myself, and I've been journaling. You know, what is my true vision for me? You know, what do I want? You know, what does the future of my life look like? Another good question that I love to ask is, what is the next level version of me? And who does she look like? What does she look like? What does she prioritize in her life? What does she, you know, make time for every single day? What are her habits, right? So, you know, and for me, like, I'll give you an example. For me, the next level version of me is meditating every hour. It's not every hour, but for at least an hour. I'm not meditating every hour. Meditate for at least an hour every day. That is the next level version of me. Now, when I first started, guys, when I first started this journey, the next level version of me may have been, hey, I'm going to be working out 30 minutes every day. That was the next level version of me, that consistency. So understand that this is something that it builds upon it. So, you know, for me, my journey was, I focused first on exercising every single day, no matter what, always making time. It doesn't have to be perfect. I stay flexible. I stay adaptable. I do something better than nothing, and I move my body. That was creating that habit was key for me. I started there. Then the next level version of me was like, okay, I got to get together. I got to really work on my food. I got to really work on my relationship with the food. I got to really work on my emotional connection to food. I got to break up with certain foods, you know, and really, you know, they're not really serving me. They're not making me feel good. They're making me feel, you know, tired, and they're giving me cramps, or they're making me bloated. You know, that next level version of me was really focused on nutrition. So it's a stepwise approach. Then the next level version of me was like, okay, now I need to, you know, through this, I was working on my personal development. But then the next level version of me was like, it's time to start sitting in quiet time for yourself. And little by little, I've been building that. Have I been perfect? No. Sometimes I don't meditate for weeks at a time in the past. I mean, I've been working on this now for over a year, I want to say. But again, it's getting back on track, just like everything else. And so what is the next level version of you? And who does she look like? And what does she prioritize? What is your vision for a healthy earth? I throw this in there, guys, because we as a collective we literally have it in our hands now to visualize and pray for the future of this earth. You understand? We have the responsibility right now of what we focus on and what we visualize. And actually, this is what people like Native Americans and traditional medicine men and women and traditional spirit, like in the Amazonians, they literally have elders that this is what they would do. They would sit for hours and literally visualize a better earth, a better future for their children. And so right now I'm putting the responsibility on you because it's all of our responsibility. You know, what are you envisioning and what is your role in making that happen? What are you doing in your home and what are you doing in your life to make sure that this is a healthy earth and, you know, for our future generation? And it starts with you. It always starts with us, guys. We are the first transformation for anything that we're trying to accomplish in our lives, whether it's weight loss, whether it's transforming our life to the next level. We are always the first transformation. And so what are you doing in your life? And so really getting and I hope it's a beautiful vision of unity, of no judgment, of peace, of love, of no war, again, but just really, what does it mean for you? And then asking yourself, what's most important to you? What's most important to you? Hopefully now, you're getting a good idea of the things that matter the most to you. And then another good question is, what's keeping you blocked? What has been keeping you blocked? What thought processes, what old programming, what old stories have been stopping you from stepping out and living a better life, or stepping out and stopping you from living, in a different way and living more authentic to yourself? What are you holding on to? What thoughts, what stories, what old programming are you holding on to that no longer serves you? You understand, right? And all of you know what some of those stories are. Some of those archetypes is what I've been learning through my own personal development. Again, using the archetypes of scarcity, right? The archetypes of being jealous of what other people have, the archetypes of not feeling like you're worthy enough. These are all programming and thoughts that we have. And scarcity is a big one amongst many people. It's a big one amongst many people. That's what leads to comparison, jealousy, envy is scarcity. And so really, what old thought patterns are you holding on to? Because right now we're in a huge transition as a human species. We're in a huge transition where we have the opportunity as a whole to let go of old programming. And that's, I think that I believe that's part of why we're going through some of this, but that's a whole other thing. What will I embody moving forward? Again, thinking about your vision. What habits will you embody? What are you going to make time for moving forward? What are you going to let go? Who are you literally becoming? Because when you think about your future self, if you say, okay, my nose is itching. When you say, okay, you envision yourself, let's say, having a successful 6-figure business and having flexibility. What does that look like? What does the day in the life of that version of you look like? What is she doing? How is she treating her body? What is she focusing on? It's not that you're not all of a sudden going to, I know all of you know this, but the way that you bring that future version of yourself closer to this reality is you start taking those actions that you envision yourself taking in the future. That's how you do it. And so, really thinking about what are you going to embody moving forward? And then again, what action can I take today toward my future self? So what action can you start doing today that's going to help you, become the next version of you? So lastly, what I want you guys to know is what you focus on expands and creates your reality. This is why I had this conversation, with you guys. There's a lot of, low vibrational thought patterns out there. And that's all that is. It's low vibrational thought patterns. Fear, anxious, worry. Those are low, dense vibration. And I say dense because all emotions have a frequency. They have a frequency. That's why when someone is mad and they walk into the room, you can feel when someone is mad. You're like, ooh, someone just walked into the room and the energy just went, and you just know. Or like when someone looks off and you're like, ooh, that is I can feel. That literally is because that's a density. It's a density of the feeling that they're feeling. So those lower vibrational densities, you just being mindful of that. So what you're focusing on and just really focusing more on the higher vibrational emotions, love, hope, bliss, joy, happiness, laughter, those tend to be more of the higher vibrational. And that's what every day we're choosing that, guys. Every day we have the opportunity to create that in our lives. And it first starts with us. And it first starts with what's going on within ourselves. So lastly, I don't know what happened to my picture, but look within and trust that love always wins is what I wanted to say. Nice picture. All right, good. Let me see, stop share. All right, so I hope that was helpful. Any questions? Let's see. Oh, there's lots of things here. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see. I know. I'm still working on me more and helping others. I'm doing Transform 20. My sleep schedule is so wrecked, but I'm getting enough hours now. Yeah, this is a great time now to have a good quality sleep. That's exactly, I took out my shorts, size 14 as a goal to June. Yep, 26 pounds. I am down 26 pounds. Oh, awesome. And looking forward to more. Congratulations, that's awesome. Learning to sew and TikTok. Yes, TikTok is really popular right now. And it's a lot of fun. It's funny to watch and to have fun watching people dance. I want my IG to shine. I've tagged, let's see, crime is down in Cincinnati. Yes, that's a positive thing. Definitely a positive thing. Almost cried after my walk yesterday, just seeing all the families in their own yards, strangers waving from afar. Yep, it's true. I see more people now, more families walking in my neighborhood as well. It's a great time to get to know your neighbors from afar. Hello, my name, who are you? My name is Stephanie. I do this. What do you do? I really need to restart. Yep, gratitude. Seeing people count your blessings. I love that pic. Oh, thanks for the pics. Oh, big on trees and animals. And let's see, PD suggestions about advice. I hear you. You're so right. Coloring. Yep. Cooking. Yes, cooking. Meditation. Oh, yes. Meditation in 5 minutes. That's a great goal, to be honest. Chelsea, where are you? I can't see you. Oh, there you are. There's so many. That's why so many squares. I'm like, yeah, I started with 5 minutes, guys. I remember when I even started with 2 minutes. My mind was constantly go, 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 go. I could never, if you would have told me probably like 4 years ago that I'd be sitting down meditating for almost an hour, I would have been like, you're bugging. But like, I use Calm app, or Headspace, or I used an app, I use guided meditations. There's tons of free guided meditations on YouTube. Used all of those different types of resources. And you actually do start seeing an immediate, probably within a week, you start seeing that you're able to sit a little bit longer, or you may not have as many thoughts in those 5 minutes. And that's the thing with meditation, guys. It doesn't mean that your mind is going to suddenly go quiet, because it doesn't. It just means that what you're trying to do is you're just trying to create the pause of silence to be longer before you start thinking about something and going down the rabbit hole of something else. And then you catch yourself and you go, oh, I'm thinking again, go back to my breath. And so that's why I like guided meditations to begin with, because it kind of gives you something to kind of follow along with and think a little bit about, and then it tells you to breathe. And so it's a good way to start off meditation. Let's see. My daughter and I watching a bunny family. Oh, in the yard. This is heavenly. Yes, dogs have had more walks. I know people I know 2 people who just got a dog. Everyone's saying all these dogs are loving all these dog walks that they're getting with everyone, because everyone is out and about walking their dogs and cuddling with their dogs. Normally I don't talk about Beachbody with a certain group of people. Yep. Yes, it's so weird to have all this time, but I have been consistent with working out every day, and my nutrition has been on key. Yes. And again, another thing, guys, that I think is really important is using this opportunity as a receiving, right? Especially those of us that are used to going and doing things all the time, and we're used to always being productive. We're used to always giving, right? Productivity, producing is giving, right? And this, by giving us time, we're being asked in a way to receive. And so I want you to think about that as how receptive are you to this free time? Being open to this opportunity. And I know I've spoken to this with a couple of you, and even like people, other people, it's really hard for people to just sit back and not do much, really hard. And or just to receive, and just to receive the time and say, wow, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to like worry. I don't have to like go out and work. I don't have to. And it's like, no, you don't. And, you know, being receptive is actually very vulnerable. It's very vulnerable because you're so used to doing, which is a control, which is you. But when you're in a really receptive and you're just receiving, you're just kind of like saying, I trust what's coming. I trust what's going to happen. And that takes a lot of vulnerability. And right now we're being asked to be really vulnerable. And, you know, literally all of our, right now, all our shadows, everything is coming to the surface as a country and within ourselves. And I'm really passionate about the shadows of everyone. So I'm starting to call myself a shadow worker. But our shadow, Chelsea, I'm a shadow worker. Her face was like, what the hell did I get myself into here? But your shadows, guys, are just your old stories. That's all it is. It's your old stories that are literally right behind you, right? They're right behind you. So it's your lower vibrational energies. It's your fears. It's your concerns. It's the things that you don't want to face, that you're going to have to face. And it's the things that you don't want to face because you have a lot of fear, concern, worry, pain. But there's so much freedom on the other side, but that's a whole other topic. But anyway, I haven't seen what you guys are writing over here. So paddleboarding, I love the Calm app, meditation. I'm a producer for sure, and this is my biggest challenge. Yeah. Last year, my word for the year was relax, and I didn't do this. Chelsea, look at this. God listens to you. Now you're being asked to sit on your couch and not do much. I was just talking to Justine yesterday about my constant mind movement. I hear you loud and clear, Chelsea. It's like an exorcist. Is that like an exorcist? No, it's not like an exorcist. That's funny. That's funny. Well, kind of it is sometimes, actually. It is a little bit. Some of it is not like it depends on what type of work it is. But the shadow work, the type of work I like doing is where you are like you're fully aware of what you're doing and what you're working through. And you can do that in many different ways. But we're being asked, guys, right now to be very vulnerable, to be very open, and to be adaptable, and to be in flow, and to let go of control. And this is a beautiful self-reflective time. And so, you know, I want to encourage you guys to really, really, really take this opportunity to reflect and to really think about the things that you want to let go of in your life, and to really take this time to look within yourselves of what's really true for you, right? This is a beautiful time because, you know, what's really true for you, we never, even everything that I just said right now, you shouldn't just take it because I said it. Everything that anything anyone ever tells you, always, and this is why meditation and getting to know yourself is so important, because literally, I promise you guys, the more in tune you are with your body, the more in tune you are with your instincts, there's no other better like director than yourself, no other better compass than yourself. And so you'll be able to then know when you'll be able to know when someone tells you something and it's bullshit to you. You'll be able to know, and you'll feel fine, and you'll be like, this doesn't resonate with me, and that's fine, and that's good, and that's okay. And so that's why I'm encouraging you guys to do these things. Thank you so much for this call. I appreciate it. I'm an essential worker, and sometimes I get overwhelmed, but now I don't allow negativity to get over my kind anymore. God bless. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. You know, especially those of us that are essential workers, we have to be, during our downtime, like I said, during our downtime, really doubling up on our self-care practices is the best defense and the best way to protect ourselves. I saw someone walking a goat in my neighborhood. Oh, someone was walking a goat. Where do you live again? I think she lives in Texas. You live in Texas, right? They're walking goats in godly Texas. Awesome. 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 Anything else, guys? You guys can share anything else. You guys can get off the, we're done with the call, but if there's anyone else that wants to share anything, this is now your time to share or express anything. Again, nothing, everything is, thank you for being, oh, you're welcome. Anything? Oh, no, the guest speaker is the 26th. So I'm having a guest speaker. One of my friends will be, she is a business coach, and she'll be talking with us on the 26th, guys, on sales and speaking to our niche and selling to our niche. And so really looking forward to that. She's really awesome. She does a lot of personal development as well. And so she'll be sharing her story, as well as giving us, just sharing with us her tips that she has. So she has like business coaching programs. And so she's really awesome. So that'll be on the 26th at 7 p.m. of this month. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thank you. Thank you everyone for coming on. And I hope that you guys have a safe evening. Bye.